right, guys, we are back with the OG crew of the PK Sportscast. I'm your boy Johnny C here with the OGs, man. Got Marengo, Caleb, and Knock. How's it going, fellas?
Good, man. Glad to
What
be
up?
back
What
on.
up?
At this point, I'm fighting for anything other than last place.
Yeah. Well, we've grown, man. So it's gonna be a little harder for you this year. We got about twice as many people entered in. Knock, I know that you're coming off of your own version of a Super Bowl win last season. How confident are you feeling with your picks today?
I feel extremely confident. Um, hear ye, hear ye. Know this. Nostradamus has spoken, and once again, I will defend the
Are we
crown.
even 30 seconds in?
We couldn't go. That's
Yes.
we couldn't go a single minute without hearing that bullshit.
I feel pretty good. I feel
You
pretty
knew
good.
Nostradamus was coming, man. Well, we'll go ahead and just jump right into it, man. Marengo, let's go ahead and get it started off, man. What you got for your standings this year?
Oh, this year, I mean, it's more of the same, honestly. I got KC riding at number one, 15-2. I mean, it's really not a surprise. They're the best team in the AFC. The AFC's got a lot of stacked teams, but this it's a dynasty in Kansas City right now, and they're going to keep rolling with how they have been. So obviously they're coming out of the West. Number two seed, I actually got Cincinnati. Again, not really a surprise. Burrow's been balling out. That whole team's been balling out. They're going to be a great team again this year. My my pick coming out of the East, I got the Jets. Again, I don't think that's much of a surprise. Really, they had the defense, they had the weapons last year, and now they got somebody in Aaron Rodgers who can throw the ball. So I think they're actually going to be a pretty dangerous team this year, and they're going to look real nice. My number four team is the one I'm most excited to see is Jacksonville. I think they've been a sleepy, scary team the past few years, and they might actually put it together and actually win that division this year. I mean, there's not really a whole lot of competition other than Tennessee in that division anyway. So I don't really see them having a problem taking that division and going into the playoffs. Uh, Number five, I mean, again, Baltimore. Baltimore's going to be a scary team this year. He finally got paid. I think he's going to do well. Um, and they added Odell to the wide receiver room. So, I mean, that's good right across the board. Six, I'm riding with Miami. I mean, they're fast. They're a hell of a team. They were a hell of a team last year. They're going to make a push for the playoffs. I don't see them going very far, but I do think they're going to be there. And probably the most surprising one when I was putting this together is Las Vegas. I got them coming out of the West as well. So that's going to be a fun division to watch for sure. Over on the NFC, I got some new teams and some new faces in there. Okay, already, huh? Over in the NFC, number one, I got Philly. I got Philly at my number one seed. That's not a surprise to anybody. They're coming off a Super Bowl loss last year, and they're going to be hungry. They're going to go and get that number one seed for sure. Number two, I know I'm going to get some shit for, but I got New Orleans as my number two seed in the NFC. Derek Carr got a lot of disrespect in Vegas. I think he's got a lot of good weapons in New Orleans. He's looking for some payback, and he's going to go out and he's going to have a good year. This is going to be his one good year in New Orleans, and I think he should retire, but I think he's going to do really well this year. They got a lot of good weapons down there. Number three, they had a hell of a season last year, and I dogged on them at the beginning of the season. I'm not going to do it again this year, is Detroit. Detroit is a hell of a football team. They got some great leaders. I think they got some things to figure out at quarterback, but for right now, it's doing them pretty well, so keep riding it. Number four, I rode with San Francisco last year. They're going to win that division. They're going to be right back in the playoffs. They're still a hell of a football team. They're going to keep pushing along. Number five is a pretty surprising pick that when I put this together, I didn't really know that I had given them this many wins, but Chicago. Chicago at 11-5 is probably my most surprising record that I saw at the end. To finish it out, I got Seattle at number six. Not really surprised. They had a hell of a season last year. I think they're not going to have any problem getting a wild card spot. And at number seven, Dallas, I have struggling a little bit this year, but I think I gave them a few losses that they might pull out. I think they're going to have above a 500 record. I've got them sitting at 8-9, but I think they could easily split that 9-8, 10-7. But yeah, I got them pulling in at the number 7 seed.
Who you got an MVP?
MVP. I got Philadelphia actually running the season. They're actually going for the perfect record this year, and so I got to give it to my boy Jalen. Jalen Hurts is just on a freaking mission, man. He's great. He's a great quarterback. I think he's going to go out and get it this year.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I was wondering if you were going to mention that you had them completely undefeated, 17.
Yeah, yeah. I was
First
going to
team
wait
ever
until
to
I
do
got
it.
into my playoffs. I thought it'd be fun to mention after we got through that, but
No, sir.
we'll
That's
keep
getting
riding.
mentioned right now. Let me be clear. That's a bold prediction, but I will say it doesn't. It's not even close to as bold as your New Orleans prediction being the number 2 seed.
Hey,
So I could
Yeah,
definitely
no,
see
I,
the Philly winning every game this year before I could see New Orleans being the 2 seed. But good luck to New Orleans.
man, we said last year Derek Carr was Derek Bike. Marengo said, no, he's Derek Diesel. He's going 13-4. He's going to kill it. We'll see, man.
Listen,
That's bold.
he's got some great weapons down there, man. He's got Jamal Williams, Chris Olave, Michael Thomas. I mean, he's gonna have some weapons to throw to. I mean, it's Taysom Hill's down there. He's gonna ball out. It's gonna be a good season for him as long as they can keep him protected.
I got to say one last thing, bro. The fact that you got the Raiders making the playoffs is just baffling.
Listen, I said
I feel
said this
hoodwinked,
before we even.
bamboozled.
Caleb,
Listen.
tell him.
I wish no ill will to Jimmy G. So don't take this the wrong way. But he hasn't finished a season in 3 years. I did that under the premise that he doesn't make it a full season. They put Stidham in, and he just balls out for the Raiders because he looks damn good. And I probably wouldn't have signed Jimmy G if I was in Vegas.
Go ahead and just let us know how those playoffs go. Do they win a playoff game?
they
Do
better
you have
not.
Vegas winning a playoff game? That's an excellent question.
Absolutely not.
I just need to know what level I need to put this on.
No, I don't give him that much love.
Well, I'm telling you straight up, I was about to make that 3-hour drive right now. Like,
I was about to
No.
I was about to call in an ambulance. Like, he's sick, man. Sorry, go ahead, man. Go ahead with your playoffs.
No, I definitely don't have Vegas winning. So Kansas City's going to get the bye on my AFC. So that puts Jacksonville playing Baltimore at the 4 and the 5, and the Jets playing Miami at the 3 and the 6, and Cincinnati playing Vegas at the 2 and the 7. Got Baltimore over Jacksonville, Jets over Miami, and Cincinnati. I'm taking it over Vegas. I don't think they're going to make much noise against Cincinnati. But that makes 2 really fun games that will be awesome to watch in KC and Baltimore. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. I mean, playoffs. It's going to be in Kansas City. It's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be rough for Baltimore, but I have them actually coming in and getting the upset. You know, it hurts my heart. Hurts my heart to say that, but Baltimore has been hungry for a long time. They've got the talent. They've had the talent. They just got to stay healthy, and I think they can actually put it together and make a run this year. Another fun game, the Jets in Cincinnati. I think that's where Aaron Rodgers' dream run comes to an end. I don't think he's getting to the chip this year. Cincinnati and Burrow, they're gonna kill some dreams in New York. But I mean, New York's just still gonna have a hell of a season, but Cincinnati's gonna bring that to an end. And Baltimore and Cincinnati are gonna be in my AFC Championship. Before I tell you who won, I think we're gonna go to the NFC. We're going to go. So we got Philadelphia with the bye with the number 1 seed. So that puts San Francisco and Chicago. I got San Francisco taking that one. Detroit and Seattle is going to be a really fun game to watch. Detroit actually takes that one. And New Orleans and Dallas. And again, that's where Derek Bike comes back in Dallas. Dallas puts a hurting on New Orleans. So that puts Philly playing San Fran and Detroit playing Dallas, which are, again, going to be 2 great games. Philadelphia, again, is taking that over San Francisco. And Detroit, with a surprising game, is going to beat Dallas. in the divisional round as well. So that's going to put Philly and Detroit in the conference game. And I got Philly taking that and going back to the chip, and I've got Baltimore beating Cincinnati in the AFC Championship. So I think this would be a hell of a Super Bowl to watch. Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, those two high-powered offenses, it would just be awesome to watch. Baltimore and Philadelphia. I got Philadelphia running it back, man. They're going to win 32-27, get the chip that they missed out on, and Jalen Hurts is going to get the MVP.
So let's be clear. You have Philly winning the regular season undefeated. You have them winning the Super Bowl. You have Jalen Hurts winning regular season MVP and Super Bowl MVP.
Listen, yeah.
20
So
and
just to
0.
be clear,
That
the
man's
greatest,
all in on Philly.
All
the
in on
greatest
Philly.
season
The
by
greatest season.
anybody.
The greatest season by anybody ever. I'm riding with Philly.
All right, man. All right, bold prediction. I think I like the Philly 20 and 0 more than I like Vegas even making the playoffs, but you know what? It's
Yeah,
fine. It's
I
fine.
mean,
Me too. I
Caleb?
respect
Yeah.
Philly.
Yeah, you got to respect Philly, man. I don't think
There's
that's the craziest prediction we've seen this season.
there is a lot going on there, and I don't even know where to begin with it. So I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna let Marengo go away with that. We'll come up with that later, bro. Like I'm gonna let that one go. To start out in the AFC, man, I do want to I want to preface this by starting out and saying if you are a Buffalo fan, if you're able to see just by how Mango's prediction started, you may want to turn this off. I'm just joking. Please don't turn it off. But I'm telling you right now, you might end up a little bit upset by the end of this episode. Start out my AFC. I have Cincinnati. I just don't. Joe Burrow. I mean, I think he's one of the two best, maybe three best quarterbacks in the league. You don't need to. He's one of those guys that people fear. Nothing needs to be said about him. I think he's going to have a monstrous season, and it just I see him. I see them coming out on top, making a deep run in the playoffs. Second one, I think this was a little bit more surprising for me. After everything was said and done, I have the Jets actually coming out at number two. Um, the Jets actually weren't terrible, on that side of the ball last year, but now you have somebody to actually throw the rock. And I think they're going to make a deep playoff. Not really a deep playoff run. Let me backtrack that. I don't know about a deep playoff run, but now Aaron Rodgers. I think last year we kind of he's one of those guys that when he's unhappy, everybody knows about it. I'm thinking he's got a new change of scenery. I think the Jets. I got them taking second in the AFC this year. Number three. This may ruffle some feathers. I do have our beloved Chiefs. I do have our beloved Chiefs at the three seed. Sorry, man. I can't be a homer every year. I can't do it. I cannot do it. What's the point of that? I can't do it. And I know we won last year, but I can't do that every single year. Number four, I believe this is what Mango had them at as well. I actually have the Jaguars. And that's partly because I think the Jags are up next with Trevor Lawrence, but kind of mixed in with that division. They probably going to win that by default anyway. Um, Five, I got Miami. They are quick. Um, you know, I don't see them making much of a deep playoff run either. I still don't think it's a year for them. Number six, I'm not as high on Baltimore. I'm not. I don't know what it is. I know Lamar just got paid, but health, all that's got to be a factor. I don't see them doing anything. That's just me. I don't have them. I know this is a little bit premature. I don't have them getting out of the first round. My seventh seed. This I think this one surprised me more than anything. Um, I have Cleveland. I have Cleveland making the playoffs, which to me is a hell of a lot better than Vegas. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. But yeah, I do have Cleveland sneaking out playoff spot. Man, that division is gonna be hell. That's going to be a fun division to watch. For my NFC, I think this is my greatest surprise overall. Um, I have Minnesota as my one seed, and I fell victim to just going by looking at games and going, yeah, Minnesota's going to win that game. And then it wasn't until we got here, I'm like, oh, I had Minnesota as the one seed. We'll see how it plays out. I know it's well recorded how much I don't believe in that franchise, and I have them as the one seed. That kind of sucks. I'm sorry. Number two, I do have Philadelphia. I think, man, that's just going to be there. You want to talk about a juggernaut of an offense, and you have a hungry Jalen Hurts coming off a Super Bowl loss. So long as they don't have like a Super Bowl hangover type deal, I don't see much in their way. Third, I have this one I'm kind of ashamed of. I do have the Rams as the third seed. I'm not even going to go into that. If there's one thing I can change already, that would be it. But I made it. I'm going to keep with it. Carolina, I kind of have them winning their division by default. I don't really believe in Carolina. What did you, Mango? What did you say you had the Saints at?
13-4. You have Carolina winning that division.
Carolina winning the division.
You have no
Hey,
business giving me any kind of shit. You have no
I
continue.
I
Continue.
have no. I can't say this. I can't say I don't even have Carolina as a 500 team.
Neither do I.
Well, clearly.
Someone's got to win the division, though. Someone's got to win it.
That's crazy.
Somebody's got to win it.
It's
That's just
crazy.
how it came out this year. Fifth seed, not last year. You would have liked this. I do have the Cowboys um, getting up there. They're going to have the fifth seed. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but we'll just have to see. Green Bay, I have coming in at six. It just kind of. I went through the games, and that's just how it kind of played out. Same with Chicago. Playoff appearance, that's fine. I have Chicago going 9-8 as Green Bay, but I don't really see either one of those teams really doing a whole lot of business in the postseason.
who you got as your regular season MVP?
Oh, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Now,
Okay.
I know Mango is like homering for Philly and Hurts this year. I'm not on that same level, but I do think this is gonna be a magical run for him, and I'm gonna stand by that. We'll just have to see. Um,
Bet.
I do have for my 4-5 game. I do have Jacksonville taking out Miami 17-10. Um, we'll just kind of have to see, man. I don't know. This could be all wrong. You know what? If I had to bet, I bet Miami is going to be the team that doesn't do anything this season. We'll have to see. I'll more on that later. For my 3-6 game, I do have KC edging out Baltimore 28-21. Last year, I learned not to place these scores so high. And I think we're going to have that 28-21. I think that's the sweet spot. Then, like, for my 2-7 game, I have the Jets in Cleveland. I think the Jets, if that were to come out, I would have the Jets steamrolling them. I have that at 31-10. That doesn't even seem like a question. But that would place my divisional round game. Cincinnati and Jacksonville, I would have Cincinnati rooting out 31-17. And then I have the Jets and the Chiefs 24-21 in overtime with Kansas City winning that game. I do have them going to yet another AFC championship game, this time in Cincinnati, where I would have them losing 28-27. That one really hurt me to type out, but that's what I just think, a game of that magnitude, I think, sometime I don't want the magic to end. I just think if there is going to be a time where this does end, not saying the dynasty's over. Yes, I'm going to say dynasty. I think this is kind of a year that we don't make it quite to the bowl. Anyway, but my one seed, I have Minnesota, so they get a bye. That's killing me to even say that. My 4-5 game beat Carolina and Dallas. This is going to kill y'all. I only have Dallas winning that game 17-14. Mango, what you
Scoring.
got on that one? I know you want to give me some shit.
Continue. Just keep going.
just finish strong.
I'm
Just
letting
finish
it
strong.
The
build.
Rams and Green. I have my 3-6 game would be the Rams and Green Bay. I don't see a whole lot in Green Bay. Not that I see a whole lot either in the Rams. Their division also is just sorry. I would have the Rams winning 31-10 over Green Bay. My 2-7 game, Philadelphia, Chicago. Don't even need to say anything. Philadelphia 41-14. That sets up the divisional round. I would have Dallas over Minnesota 28-21. Then I would have Philly over the Rams. For some reason, I have this one being pretty close. 28-27, Philadelphia taking that game. I don't think that would be even remotely what the situation would be. But anyway, for the NFC Championship game, I have Philly taking out Dallas 35-17. That would play Cincinnati and Philadelphia. I have that one actually being a close Super Bowl. 24-21, Philadelphia winning in overtime. Jalen Hurts would be my pick for Super Bowl.
Wow.
So both of you guys have Jalen Hurts winning regular season MVP and Super Bowl MVP.
As crazy as how different our standings were, I didn't want to say that, but yes, we both, at the end of the day, still have the same result.
Mango, get him. Get him, Mango.
You brought it back around at the end, but you gave me so much shit about Vegas going to just making the playoffs. But you have Minnesota at your number one. They're gonna win more games than Detroit. They're gonna win more games than Philly. They're gonna win more games than they're gonna win more games than Dallas. You're okay.
You have Philly going undefeated.
That you have them winning the Super Bowl. We're saying the same shit. Calm down.
In a way, yes, you're correct.
I like it was like, calm down.
But I mean, listen, I'm right there with you with Chicago, Philadelphia, Dallas, but you lose me at Green Bay, Carolina with a rookie 5'5" quarterback. The Rams, the Rams got some talent. They might make some noise. But they're damn sure not winning a division.
With San Francisco in
New
it.
Orleans.
What?
Wait, I'm sorry. I thought you said Rams. My bad. I'm gonna have to cut that out. Leave it in. Fuck it.
He said Rams. I think he has Rams with the third seed.
Yeah, you have Rams with the third seed.
Right. That's what I'm like in that.
Dude,
division.
You have the Rams winning more games than San Francisco and Seattle. I think they might they could get close to Seattle, but there's no way. There's no way, bud. Listen, I'm not doing recency bias. Have you seen my NFC? I got New Orleans, Detroit, Chicago, Seattle. That's all brand new teams.
Crazy.
That's all. Listen, I'll give you New Orleans. New Orleans might be a little bit of a stretch, but who do they really got in that division right now, man? I mean, they got a Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay. They got a Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay that I want to succeed, but I don't think is going to do great. They got another rookie quarterback in Atlanta and another undersized quarterback in Carolina. I hope the kid does well, but I think he's not going to be successful in his first year. They don't have the team around it.
I'm telling you right now, I have the NFC South. Nobody's going 500. And the fourth seed, this is going to be the NFC East of 3 years ago.
That is crazy to me, only because that's crazy because New Orleans has so much veteran presence on that team. They have so much talent on that team. You don't think they're going to go over 500?
You have Derek. I really almost said Derek White. I'm sorry.
Oh my God! You don't think that's a step up from Jameis Winston? You don't think that's a step up from Jameis Winston?
You have them as your second seed.
They are my second seed. I told you it might be a little bit of a stretch, but I have them. They can go to the playoffs for sure.
They can go to the playoffs, but I don't know about a second seed.
Remind me who was your second seed in the NFC, Caleb?
My second seed in the NFC was Philadelphia.
Fucking Philadelphia.
Who was your first seed?
Man.
Who was the first seed?
My first seed.
Who was the first seed?
Kirk Cousins? You and Kirk?
It's Minnesota.
Okay. They're a regular season
It's
team.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. They're a regular season team.
You wanted to talk
And
shit
you
on
just
me,
threw out
man.
the phrase recency bias. You don't think that your number one seed has
Green
been
Bay.
reflected by that?
Green Bay. Tell me, tell me
You
how
might be
Green
onto
Bay is going to
something.
make it to the
You might
playoffs.
be onto something. Because the NFC is dog water compared to the
I
AFC, and
listen.
anybody is going to be able
Agreed.
to up the
I
grades.
I
Agreed.
understand that it's dog water, but they have teams like Detroit and Chicago. Shit, I gave Minnesota more wins than Green Bay this year. Like they have Jordan Love. He's not gonna do shit. That's why he's been sitting on the bench. He can't. They brought him in to replace Aaron Rodgers, and he couldn't do shit. They'd rather have an old man on fucking ayahuasca out there throwing the ball.
Listen, the
Wow.
NFC, I knew this is what was going to happen, but the NFC, the field, the lower half of the NFC, there's no telling. We don't know how some of these teams that aren't established are going to do. I know the Phillies. I know, in my case, Minnesota. Like I get that. Dallas is always going to be a middle of the road team, even though I have them going 11-6. Like I just we don't the AFC is so much more stacked than the NFC. That's all I'm saying. We don't know who is going to sneak in there come the end of the season. This is just what I looked at when I play these games. That's just what I thought of. You can give me hell as the season goes on, and I'll take that. That's fine. We just gonna have to see how it plays out. New Orleans, how many games do you have them winning?
What's up?
How many games do you have the Saints winning?
13.
Hmm. Well, let's be clear. This is about Caleb right now, as it's Caleb's turn, and we're talking crap about Caleb's picks.
I didn't even
But
touch on Cleveland.
both of you guys having
There's a lot to
Philadelphia
touch on here.
running the table is crazy. It's crazy. So I'll tell you what, young men, let me just jump on in here and tell you how the real regular season is going to go. Okay? Let me tell you exactly how the real regular season is going to go. All right? You guys are so worried about being homers. You have the best coach in the league. Okay? You have the best quarterback in the league. Finally, as Chiefs fans, you have this, and you choose during this time to bet against them. And you never mentioned Chris Jones, which would be the only reason you shouldn't bet on the Chiefs. Let me tell you right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl again this year. Okay? Hands down. Forget all that bullshit you talking about Philly. Forget all that crap you guys are talking about Cincinnati being a number 1, number 2 seed. Kansas City's going to win it all. And let me tell you how the regular season's going to go. Kansas City's going to have the first seed in the AFC with a 15-2 record. Cincinnati's going to make their presence known with 13-4 in a very stacked AFC North division. And you're going to see Jacksonville come in third in the third seed. Jacksonville's going to have a stellar year. Trevor Lawrence is that dude. You can expect to see Jacksonville to not only win their division, but also go deep into the playoffs. But we'll get into that later. With the number 4 seed, let's see what we got here. Number 4 seed, we have Buffalo, making their normal appearance. And then rounding out, we have the Jets at 5. We have Baltimore at 6 and Pittsburgh at 7 in a very, very stacked AFC North, like I said before. Now, honorable mention, we have Cleveland's going to end up with 11 wins. They're going to be at least a 10-win team there in Cleveland. The AFC North is going to be fun every single week. So that's what the AFC is going to look like. We'll get into the playoffs in just a moment. But first, let's go ahead and talk about the NFC side of the regular season. For the first seed, I'm with you guys. I think Philadelphia wins 14 games. I give them the number 1 seed. San Francisco's in at the 2 seed. They're a solid team. I think Brock Purdy's going to have a much better year this year. The defense is going to be healed up, as well as Kittle is going to come back fresh. So I think you're going to see a revitalized San Francisco team, and they're going to make it look really easy out there in the NFC West. Third seed, we have Detroit. I'm on the Detroit wagon. I started it last year. I'm still on it. I have them winning 12 games this year. Coming in the 4th spot, I think Tampa Bay is going to be strong, guys. Maybe I'm a homer. Maybe just because I'm, now I'm in the Oklahoma area. I'm rooting for Baker since he's a Sooner. But, I think they're going to win at least 10 games this year. I got them going in at 11-6 for Tampa Bay in the 4th seed. Rounding that out, Minnesota at 10-7 gets the 5th seed in what is an atrocious NFC. I actually have Dallas below 500 at 8-9, still making it in the 6th seed, and the Rams also at 8-9 in the 7th seed. But the biggest surprise, and I was looking at Aaron Rodgers for the MVP because the Jets are going to win 12 games, and the league loves to reward their guys, and I think Aaron Rodgers is there. But I've had a change of heart. I think out with the old, in with the new, baby. We're going to see Trevor Lawrence come in and dominate this league. He's a beautiful, look at that guy. He's so marketable. He's going to come in. He's going to win the hearts and minds of the American public, and he will get your regular season MVP this year.
Woo! Wow. All right. Well, I will go first here. I don't hate it, actually. We've had a lot of crazier things said on this show, definitely today. But Denver having a better season than the Chargers in any capacity, that one's tough to see. Everybody in the
Sean
AFC
Payton.
North,
Sean Payton.
He might not make it through the season if they catch him targeting. Then in the
Sean
AFC
Payton.
North,
That's exactly what they need.
Everybody 11 wins or more. I don't hate it. It is a stacked division, but boy, that is a lot of wins in one division. That might be the best season ever for a full division like that.
Kansas City, AFC West was close to that just a couple years ago. And my predictions for the AFC West last year, I think might be there. I think I had Raiders even 8-8 or something.
Well, the Raiders went 5-12, and the
Yeah.
Denver. Yeah,
Just saying,
they
it's a
went
prediction.
4-13.
It's a prediction, baby. But let me tell you this: that division is going to have the funnest games to watch. If you have Cleveland, all of you guys have Cleveland as the worst team in that division, or Pittsburgh, either one. And I'm telling you right now, Kenny Pickett is bringing that A game. He's not a rookie anymore. Pickett to Pickens. You heard it here first. Pickett to Pickens. Pickett to Pickett. That's all you're going to hear.
To add on to
Cleveland
that,
is going to be balling.
the only thing I wanted to say out of that is the AFC North. I know I had Cleveland at 10-7, Pittsburgh 9-8, but with that being said, the AFC North is the only division I would have that I could foresee everybody being above 500.
Yeah, I'm just happy to see somebody else had Minnesota over 500. Last week I was on here and I was the only one who didn't have them like 6 and 11. So happy to see
Really?
that.
Why the big fall off for Minnesota? Because Dalvin Cook is gone?
I mean, they lost a lot of defensive players. I don't think it's as significant as some of the other co-stars we had said. But Arizona 0-17. A lot of us have really given them a shit season, but you, my friend, have given them no love officially this year, and I love
that. I said last year that Seattle was hot garbage, and this year, the Arizona Cardinals will take the moniker of being hot garbage. Okay, they're terrible. They stink. They're horrible. You don't want to watch them. I don't know if they have a single primetime game, and if they do, shame on you, NFL. Shame on you. Okay, I'm glad they're all the way in the Pacific. Their games won't even start till like 10 at night. Everyone can just go to sleep. You won't be missing shit.
Shit.
I love
No,
it.
if they
You
don't
guys
have a
anything?
single primetime game.
I'm the only one calling things out here. What else you guys
They're
got?
trash.
They don't have a single primetime game.
They don't, and this is why And so let me do this. Let's just jump right into playoffs really quick, and I'll get out of here. What I'm looking at in the playoffs is going to be some parity in the AFC, but we're going to have some real familiar faces in the NFC. So on your AFC side, you have Kansas City with the bye. Like I said before, Jacksonville's going to go strong. You're going to see the young man, Trevor Lawrence, who's going to be the MVP of the regular season. He's going to take his team on a run, okay? They're going to take out Baltimore, and they're going to take out Cincinnati before they lose in Kansas City, okay? And that's really all you need to know. Aaron Rodgers is going to do his thing. Aaron Rodgers is going to knock out Buffalo before they come to Kansas City. Kansas City will take out the Jets before meeting Jacksonville and going to the AFC Championship over Jacksonville. In the NFC side, we've got Philadelphia with the bye at 14-3. I think Tampa Bay and Minnesota match up at that 4-5, and you're going to have Minnesota coming out on top there. I have Detroit meeting Dallas, Detroit winning that game, and San Francisco steamrolling the Rams. I have also San Francisco beating Detroit in a close game to go to the Super Bowl against Philadelphia. And San Francisco will win that game against Philadelphia to go to the Super Bowl. And we're going to see a repeat of the Super Bowl between Kansas City and San Francisco. Just like last time, Kansas City comes out on top. Pat Mahomes with the Super Bowl MVP.
I don't hate the Super Bowl.
Should be.
I don't hate the Super Bowl at all. I already went in on Minnesota for real. The Rams and Tampa Bay. Why are y'all so high on Tampa Bay? Like, what?
It's simply their division. It's simply their division. Someone has to win the division, and whoever wins the division goes to the playoffs.
Right.
So we have to pick someone between Atlanta, Carolina, Tampa Bay, and whoever in the hell else is in that shit division.
But you got them 11-6. They're not like Caleb. Caleb had an 8-9 Carolina win, right? You've got 11-6 Tampa. Now I don't hate it because I also have Tampa win the division, but 11-6 is more than just their division.
Tampa Bay, I believe Tampa Bay is still a good team, and Tampa Bay has a very easy schedule. I mean, they play their own division twice. That's 6 games right there. And look at the rest of their schedule. Their schedule is easy as hell.
You did give them all 6 of their division wins too. Division sweep.
Yeah, I have them sweeping their division. I mean, Tampa Bay, they don't really play anyone. They have, they have a real cushy schedule. So, I mean, it just kind of worked out that way. That's how Detroit got their wins last year. Whenever I was going through and I did my schedule with them, and I saw, damn, Detroit's getting all these wins, it was simply because they didn't have the best season the year before. And so their schedule reflected that, and they were able to take advantage. I think that we'll see a little bit of that from Tampa Bay. I think if I had a chance to kind of go back, as Caleb mentioned before, and kind of tweak some things, maybe I might not have Tampa Bay quite as high. But, I think someone's got to win that division. That's why I have Tampa Bay in it. But I don't have them winning a game. I have them losing to Minnesota. So, like I said, Kansas City wins that Super Bowl. I do think Philadelphia is a really good team, guys. I don't want to knock you guys and give you too much stuff. But, to do the clean sweep, the perfect season MVP Super Bowl is crazy. And then Caleb also kind of seeing the same thing, regular season and Super Bowl MVP for Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts. I'm rooting for him. Those are,
I think he's going to have a big year, man. He got a taste last year. He got a taste. He had a hell of a season last year. And I think he comes out even more hungry this year. And if he plays even better than he did last year, man.
But you got to remember.
Let me ask you guys this. And this is my thought process. Okay, I know Jalen had a really good year last year, but why wouldn't say a Joe Burrow have the same opportunity to win a Super Bowl, a regular season, and a Super Bowl MVP? Why would not, somebody else?
Joe Burrow's in the AFC.
You guys both picked Jalen. What is it about Philadelphia that has you guys feeling so strong that they're that much better than the Chiefs and everybody else in the league?
We've talked about it the whole podcast. The NFC is garbage. The NFC is garbage. Joe Burrow plays in the AFC. Patrick Mahomes plays in the AFC. Josh Allen,
plays in the AFC.
Lamar Jackson, AFC. All these top-ranked quarterbacks that we all have in our top 10 right now are all in the AFC. Philadelphia might have the only elite quarterback in the NFC right now. So, Dak's not to that level. Detroit, Jared Goff, absolutely not. Kirk Cousins, absolutely not. Brock Purdy might be there in a few years, but he's definitely not that right now.
Not now.
So, who else in the NFC? There's nobody.
Okay, well, that's a valid reason. He is really good, but like you said, he doesn't have a whole lot of competition over there, and that's who they're going to primarily be playing against. So,
I will also point out though that Patrick Mahomes is the first person since Kurt Warner to win MVP and Super Bowl MVP. It finally just happened this last season. That's not an easy feat to go back to back 2 different quarterbacks. That would be pretty nuts. But I will say, your argument is also 17-0 and a Super Bowl win. So if they go 20-0, he'll damn for sure get MVP.
Right.
So I'll give you that. You can't go 20-0 and not put him there. So I ain't mad at you for that reason alone. Caleb, you know better. No fucking.
Listen, hey, like I was about to say, I know we took very different paths to get there, but in the end, Philadelphia is going to come out on top.
I really like that Trevor Lawrence MVP pick. Actually, I don't think he's gonna get it, but
He's
I
the
think I
future.
think he's
He's
gonna
the
I think
future.
he's gonna come in and ball out. I think he's gonna have a really. I don't think he'll win MVP this year, maybe in a couple years, but that I do like that pick. I do believe in him as well.
Y'all, okay.
He's got a bright
So
future.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I want to ask y'all something. 'Cause this is just backwards. Before we go on, just something funny I want to throw out there. I have three teams in the NFC East going 2-4 in the division this year. Who do I have going 6-0?
Eagles.
Philly?
No,
Dallas.
Dallas.
What is wrong with you?
Oh man, you needed to lay off of the bourbon
Hey
or
man,
whatever it is you're
hey,
sipping on over there.
if that happens, it's gonna be with Trey Lance, right? Like, how are they gonna do that with?
Hold up. They sweep the division and they're the 5th seed. Don't
Yeah.
win the
Yeah.
division.
Do
Here's
you also
the
have Michael Parsons playing both sides of the ball this year too?
here's my favorite part of this, Caleb. 12-5 Philly, and they're 2-4 in the division. So you're saying 4 of those L's, 2 come from Dallas, and then I don't know exactly how it falls, but at least 1 each to the Giants and Washington, or 2 to either
I mean,
one.
I have
That's
the Giants
crazy.
7-10 and Washington 6-11. I mean,
All right, I'm about to move on, and I'm gonna skim mine super fast just because I did this again last week. But I want some live reactions here. So, anyways, there's one thing that was right here. Kansas City, number 1 seed in the AFC, 13-4. I got Cincy coming in 2 seed at 11-6. Miami, 3 seed, 11-6. Tua's going to be healthy this year, and I think that can help them get to 11-6. That's not too far off from last year. Jacksonville, 9-8. I do think Trevor Lawrence is a beast, and like they are the default leaders in that division. 9-8 is going to get it done for him for that. 5 seed Baltimore, 11-6. Knock hit it on the head. That's going to be a really good division. I actually have them all over 500, 9 wins or more. Then I've got Buffalo coming in at the 6th seed, 10-7. You guys don't really have anybody like 10-7 who can even make the playoffs on your side. But I actually have a lot less wins in the AFC, I think, than you guys do. 10-7 is going to get it done. Same thing for the Jets. They'll go 10-7, have a decent year with Rodgers. They'll get a win or 2 more than last season, and they're going to make the playoffs. NFC, I've got Philadelphia as the 1 seed. I agree. They're fucking nasty. They're keeping a lot of their people 15-2. And I actually think they have a pretty cake schedule for just going to the Super Bowl. I think it's kind of insane. 2 seed, getting a lot of flack for this one on social media from last week. This is either going to be the best decision I make, or it's going to be my Colts of this year. I got Minnesota 14-3, 2 seed in the NFC. 1 more game than last season.
Say that again?
Everybody says they take a step back with losing people, and logically that might make sense. But they got Kirk, and I don't know if y'all seen, but he got the handlebar mustache going. That dude's on some weird shit right now, and I'm feeling it, man. Minnesota 14-3, they're gonna get it done. 5-1 in that division. The only L they're taking is to Detroit. They're a good team. They're gonna get it done. 3 seed San Francisco, 13-4 as well. I'm not as well, sorry. 13-4. Best team in that division. No one else in that division is going over 500 except for them. So, 4 seed Tampa Bay, same as Knock, but I've got them 9-8. I think it's a default win of that division. I've got them 5-1 in it as well. So I agree with Knock also that most of their wins will come from within the division. 5 seed, I got Dallas 12-5. They're gonna have a really good season, just not gonna be better than Philly. 6 seed, I got the Giants 10-7. They'll do about the same as last year. And then Detroit going to sneak in at 9-8 for the 7 seed. And my regular season MVP, I know I said it ain't happened since Kurt until this last year, but it's going to happen twice, baby. Patrick Mahomes is going to go ahead and get that MVP. He's going to get 2 in a row. I feel it. Last season, I wanted to pick my Chiefs, but I didn't want to be like everyone else, and I wanted to, be different. Not letting it happen again this year, baby. MVP time. Playoffs. I'm not even going to run through every single game since I did last week, but I will tell you that it ends with conference championships. I got Kansas City winning over Miami in the AFC chip this year. And I've got, y'all are going to love this. I've got Minnesota beating Dallas in the NFC championship this year. Kansas City, Minnesota Super Bowl. And I told y'all I wasn't telling you until we got on here live because I wanted this reaction. Kansas City, Minnesota, repeat of Super Bowl IV. Kansas City's going to win their next Super Bowl ring just like they won the first one against Minnesota. They're going to win 34-24. And the Kirk train ends there. But you know what? We're going to do the money dance all the way through the NFC chip, baby.
Get him.
Oh, and Patrick Mahomes MVP of Super Bowl, of course. All right, Caleb, go ahead, man.
I want to make sure y'all can hear me. I want to reserve the next 3 minutes minimal. First off, let me start. John,
That's a lot.
you were giving me shit. I could visibly tell on your face whenever I said Minnesota's winning 13-4. Yes, I have them number one, but not only that, you have them winning more games than I did. Now, at least I said I think any team led by Kirk Cousins is going to be a regular season team and nothing more. Mango, can you at least agree with me on that if a Kirk Cousins led team, regular season, nothing more? John, I need you to say in an open mic again.
Minnesota 14-3. They're going to the Super Bowl. They're going to take out Detroit in the first round. Easy. Hosting them. They're going to take out San Francisco because they're going to be down to their third string quarterback. And then they're going to beat Dallas because Dallas and Minnesota both are historically shitty, and I just don't like Dallas in that game. So Minnesota's going to win against booty-ass Dallas. Dallas is going to be beat up from beating Philly the week before, and they're going to lose to Minnesota. And Minnesota's going to be surprised that they're going to the Super Bowl. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait. Knox been giving me just a straight poker face this entire time. I want to hear his take right now.
You crazy. You got no business. Okay, you have absolutely no business putting Minnesota there, especially when your best reason that you had is because Kirk Cousins has a handlebar mustache now. And so all of a sudden that makes them that much better. Look, I don't know what you were drinking.
They have a cake
when you
schedule.
filled that out. I don't know what you were smoking whenever you were deciding who you were going to pick. But I'll tell you this: you need to stop doing that before you make important decisions in your life, young man. Because it's going to hold you behind. You cannot be picking Minnesota to win it all and be beating teams like San Francisco in the Super Bowl. What have they done in the playoffs to ever make you think that they're going to have a chance to get past any round in the playoffs?
Detroit, listen to who I'm playing. Detroit, they don't win in the playoffs, okay? So that's another team that's going to be happy that they even made the playoffs. You guys have Detroit winning their division for the first time since 1993. I don't. They're going to lose to Minnesota.
The division.
And then you've got the second round is going to be against Brock Purdy, okay? I don't think that's going to go great for them. That's a quarterback with no playoff experience like that. And then beating Dallas. We all know what Dallas does every year. Dallas is, if anything, it's more insane. I have them going to an NFC chip because they don't even get that far. So I think that it's not like they're going in there and beating Philadelphia in Philly. I'm not that crazy. I think they have an easy road. No one expected the Rams to go to the Super Bowl the year that they did.
Absolutely not.
And win it.
You stop. That's fucking that's blasphemous. That is, you bamboozled me.
You have to be bold.
Dude.
You have to make bold choices.
I mean, I get it. I understand.
Safe all the time.
Listen, I love your AFC. Your AFC's great, but what? I'm with Knock, man. Like, why?
It's Kirk Cousins.
Why are y'all riding with Minnesota, man? It doesn't.
A regular season team.
Listen,
they have a cake schedule.
I understand. I gave them some disrespect on here. I do think they could be a 500 team, maybe, but to say they're gonna go to the Super Bowl is, I think the NFC right now is garbage. But to say Minnesota is gonna go to the Super Bowl over, I mean, even teams in their own division, man, you got them winning over Detroit, which is just absolutely nuts,
Because
man.
Detroit's going to win the division after 30 years of never doing it.
It's got to be broken at some point.
Well, the reason they haven't
See,
won it in
that's why
30 years is two reasons: Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers is
Rodgers,
gone.
exactly.
Aaron Rodgers
Now,
didn't do shit last year,
They're
and guess who
playing.
won the division?
They're
Minnesota, 13-4.
Oh my God, you
okay,
are
so
absolutely
I'm
nuts.
halfway.
That's a fact. You can Google
Anyways,
it.
Minnesota is not going to win that division. They're not even going to make the playoffs. Buddy, I don't know
I'm
what
gonna
you
clip
did.
this.
I don't know what you were smoking. I don't know what you were smoking.
I think they have a chance to win the division, and I think they could get a wild card. I'm on board with that. I don't think that that's bananas. It's the Super Bowl part. But hey, you know what? Someone has to pick something crazy every now and then. Like I said, someone has to do it.
Right.
So good luck with that. I know that it
Well,
sounded crazy when I made some predictions last year. We all have the New Orleans one sounds like absolutely crazy to me. Caleb, his picks had a lot of sense. Most of his picks had sense. There was some maybe score here or there, but I think most of his playoff stuff, all of his stuff made sense to me. The New Orleans number 2 bananas. Minnesota Super Bowl. What?
Hey man,
all
look.
I gotta say is neither one of y'all have any business saying shit to me about New Orleans or Las Vegas after putting Minnesota in the Super Bowl and putting Carolina, the Rams, Minnesota as your 1, and Green Bay in the playoffs. I don't want to hear shit from y'all.
Listen, you can't tell me shit. You have New
I
Orleans at 2.
I tell y'all what, it's going to be a whole season before we are able to really talk shit about this. Hopefully, hopefully they're not like the Colts where we know by week 6 that my prediction's way off, right? But I tell you what, we will know very soon is how week 1 goes down. So let me pull up week 1 and what we have going, and let's talk about the games coming up this week because it's I mean, I don't know about you guys, man. I'm fucking excited, man. Like we haven't had football since the Super Bowl. I'm ready to go. I mean, we've had preseason, but that doesn't count. Now tell me, you guys can see this okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So we got an interesting one coming. All of us know that Kansas City should beat Detroit this week. That's going to be the first L to a team that won't win its division this year. We all have Baltimore beating Houston. Caleb caught it. We're actually split on Cleveland and Cincinnati. So my question for Marengo and Knock is, why do you have Cincy beating Cleveland? Are you just sure that Burrow's going to come back super healthy and Cleveland's not shit? Just expecting what should happen?
I think Cincinnati is an all-around better team. I think Cleveland's got some talent, but Cincinnati, they've been that team for the last couple of years, and I just think they're too much for Cleveland, especially week 1 going into the season. I think
I'd have to agree.
Cleveland.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think Cincinnati has been historically a better team recently, and I know that they're also favored in Vegas. I mean, it's a very solid pick as far as that's concerned. I do, however, think it will be a really close game. There was actually a point where I considered having Cleveland winning this game by a point.
Mm-hmm.
But at the last second, I changed my mind. I have Cincinnati winning that 24-23, and I feel really good about that.
Yeah, I'm excited for that game.
I think we all had it pretty close.
Yeah, I did notice it was all really close. I think Cleveland's going to come out and pop in the mouth. It could go either way, like you said, but with Burrow coming off a slight injury, it being week 1 and a little sloppy, I could see their defense giving up some ass. So we're going to see what happens. All the hate, but Minnesota, all of us pretty much have them winning against Tampa, except for Knock, who thinks that Tampa's going 11-6.
I think they win that game.
Fair enough. I mean, in Minnesota too. Nice. We're split right down the middle on New Orleans and Tennessee. I just think that's a game of two scrubs, but
Yeah, good.
hard to pick on that one. Carolina over Atlanta, pretty easy except for Caleb. Um, all of us have Jacksonville over Indy. Knock, you have Pittsburgh coming out and beating San Francisco by more than a touchdown. I'm curious to know the
Absolutely. I'm
thought
going
on
to tell
that.
you why. Because San Francisco, they're getting Brock Purdy back. He's not. He's going to be busting a little rust off. He didn't even finish the season last year. As you guys know, he was hurt. He had the offseason surgery. In addition to that, they're playing against Pittsburgh, who has one of the best pass rushes and one of the best coaches in the game. They will be prepared for San Francisco, and they've got enough tape on Purdy to know exactly how to attack him. Also, historically, away games for non-conference opponents, it doesn't matter what their records are. The non-conference opponent that's away usually loses. So you have San Francisco from the NFC going to Pittsburgh in the AFC. I think all of that combines for Pittsburgh to handle them quite easily week one.
I actually don't hate that. That's why I've got it really close. That one was hard for me. But you're right. Pittsburgh and Tomlin always comes out. They came out week one last year and beat Cincinnati. So like they'll get it done. Maybe 24-21 San Francisco. Washington over Arizona. No one's batting an eye at that one. We all got Philly over New England. Marengo's got the Raiders in the playoffs, so of course he picked them to beat Denver. But I don't hate it because that's a win-win for a Chiefs fan. That we're split for Miami and the Chargers, and I think that's a hard one. Caleb,
It
why
is.
why do you think the Chargers are going to beat Miami? Are you big on the Chargers this year too?
I'm not really big on the Chargers. No. Matter of fact, I don't
Like
even think I
you got
had
them, you
them.
got them under 500, but you got them beating Miami.
I do have them beating Miami. I think it's going to be one of those things. It's a week one matchup. Like I think the teams are just going to be figuring out how they are. Um, I think this is kind of going to be a lower scoring game. Just going to be a game of people, filling out exactly what they're able to do. So, I think that one could go either way. That's why I have the score so low. I learned my lesson last year of not putting such high scores, especially in week one of the season. So I think again that one could go any way. But if I did have to put a dollar on it, I would put LA.
Fair enough. I'd already told y'all I'm big on Miami this year. If Tua stays healthy, I think that offense is going to be crazy. Chargers are good, but that's why I had it such a high scoring game. Looks like we all, except for Marengo, or I'm sorry, no, that was you, Caleb, have the winning team over 30 points. So that's gonna be a fun one. That's
Mm-hmm.
probably one of my game. That's probably my game of the week on Sunday this upcoming week. Um, we're split for Chicago Green Bay. I think that's a toss up scrub game. Seattle and Rams is actually split. I'm surprised. I think Seattle is actually going to be a decent team this year. They actually have a pretty tough schedule though. I had them going 7-10. I don't think the Rams is one of those tough games though. Anyone feeling strongly on that one? You
I think the Rams are solid.
think so?
They're well coached. They had a bunch of injuries to start off last year that they should be coming back a little more healthy. I don't think they're a juggernaut, but I mean they won a Super Bowl on a 7th seed, and I could see them getting a 7th seed again.
Fair enough. That is fair. Um, Dallas, New York. I've got the Giants winning that game. I'm the only one in this crew, but I will say I think it's just going to be one of those week one things. I don't think the Giants are necessarily going to be a great team this year. I do have them in the playoffs, but I think they'll come out and smack the Cowboys in the mouth. Cowboys got some new stuff going on. Pollard's coming in off a pretty severe injury. They say he's supposed to be well for it, but I think with some changes that they've made and the Giants, I mean, shit, I don't know. Maybe I'm just hoping that Saquon balls with this contract and same with Daniel Jones, but we'll see what happens. Uh, Monday night game, we've got Buffalo hosting, or I'm sorry, Buffalo going into the Jets game. That's gonna be Aaron Rodgers' debut. I think that's gonna be the game of the entire week. Because everyone's waiting to see what Aaron Rodgers is going to do with those Jets, and Buffalo kind of owns that division right now. I'm the only one here that has Buffalo winning that, though, guys. Like, what's up with the Jets, man? You guys are heavy on them on week one.
The Jets have been a good team, man. They just have not had a quarterback. Their defense is next level. They've updated that in the last few years. They have young talent. The offense is explosive with great wide receivers, great tight end play, running backs. All they needed was an Aaron Rodgers back there to lead the team. So I think they come out and smack Buffalo in the mouth week 1.
I won't say smacking. I do see that all of us who had the Jets winning, it is all within a score. But so I don't think all of us just thought this was going to be a beatdown either way
Oh no.
if we had the Jets winning. Now, what, John? What I am interested. Um, no. Go ahead, and scroll back down for me. Let me show everybody what you had that game being. Yeah, 34-14. You think, and like I said, entirely possible. Um, you really think against a hype Aaron Rodgers led team that Buffalo is going to come into New Jersey and smack the Jets by 20?
So, like I said, man, I think that Buffalo has ran that division so far, though I don't have them winning the whole thing this year. Um, like, they know what they're doing. They've been playing together for a long time. I know there's a lot of drama surrounding Stephon Diggs potentially wanting to leave and stuff. But the headline that like popping in my head when I was trying to think of this game was how much they love to hate on Rodgers when he starts to fail. And like, there's been all this hype, all this good with Aaron Rodgers so far. I could totally see the story switching to like, oh no, Jets started off 0-1. No. I actually have them playing really well after this game. But I think Buffalo comes out and makes a statement like, hey, this is our division. That's a good team, man. And I think it's going to be hard for the Jets to get out of that game.
You know, I actually see it going the opposite way. I have it going 33-27 in overtime, because I think what's going to happen is you're going to have a situation where Aaron Rodgers hits that beautiful throw and wins it in OT, and he goes off the field like Joe Namath, and he's going to be living him in the fur coat. He's going to be all of the hype. He's going to be like Broadway Joe in New York, and he will be in the MVP conversation because of it, especially in the first half of the season, first 10 games of the season. But I do think it could go either way. I got it one score game, just like everyone else.
I'd be lying if I said I'm not rooting for the Jets here, just because they've historically not really been the greatest team, and Buffalo likes to talk a lot of mess to us Chiefs fans. I just don't see it happening, man. But we're gonna see what happens, man. It's that's gonna be the one I got marked on my calendar for sure. Definitely looking forward to that game. Either way, I appreciate y'all jumping on here, man. Super glad that we were able to get you guys predictions in and get you in for the next consecutive season. We got a lot of new, fresh meat here, as far as like 6 new people are doing these predictions with us. We got to represent for the OGs of season 1, and best of luck to you guys this season. Knock, we're gonna get you a trophy here soon for last year, and Caleb, we got a new one for you for the Biggest Loser this year. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm going to need my hardware. I'm going to hold out like Chris Jones.
Oh, man. Hey, he ain't getting any points to week 8. No, no, man. Seriously, though, super glad we were able to get everybody back on here this week. I appreciate y'all. Best of luck in the week 1. And, of course, for this Thursday, go Chiefs. Appreciate y'all.
Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.